Subscribe to Emmanuel Tutorials and press the bell icon for notifications.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Emmanuel Tutorials. Today we'll be seeing the properties of Laplace transform. So here in Laplace transform, it's always related, or you can say it's very similar to the Fourier transform property. So that way you'll find it easier. But only the thing is, j omega will be replaced by s. So we'll see each of the properties that are present in Laplace transform. First, x of t, if we take two signals, x of t whose Laplace transform is x of s and y of t whose Laplace transform is y of s, by linearity property what it says is that if you multiply x of t by a scalar value a and y of t by a scalar value b, scalar or real value b, and then you add both the signals, the resultant Laplace transform will be just a multiplication of their Laplace transforms with the respective real values or the constants. So here it will be a into x of s plus b into y of s. Now next we'll go to the scaling property. Here it is time scaling. So suppose if this x of t is the input signal and you are multiplying it in the time domain by a, in the resultant Laplace transform what you have to do is just multiply it by 1 by mod a, means the value, the constant by which you are multiplying, and divide the Laplace transform values in which s is there by a. So if it is 1 upon s plus a, you will just say 1 upon s by a plus a. That way. Something like this. Suppose it's 1 upon s plus a, you will just replace s term by s by a. So it will be something like this. Now we'll go to the time shift property. What does the time shift property state? That if you shift the signal in the time domain by a value of tau, what you'll have to do is multiply the resultant Laplace transform by just an exponential term with the shift value in it. So it will be x of s is the Laplace transform of x of t, but for x of t minus tau, the Laplace transform will be e raised to minus s tau x of s. Now next is s domain shift. What will happen if you shift the Laplace transform in s domain by a value of s naught? You will be getting e raised to s naught t exponential in the time domain. So what's the difference is just that here if you are delaying the signal, it will be minus s tau, the exponential power, and in s domain if you are shifting the signal, it will be e raised to plus s naught t. Now next is convolution property. So if you convolve the two signals x of t and y of t in the time domain, in the s domain, what is going to happen is you're going to multiply the respective Laplace transform. So that will be the resultant Laplace transform of both these signals. Next is differentiation in the s domain. So if you have differentiated the signal in the Laplace domain or s domain, what is going to happen in the time domain? It's going to be equivalent to a multiplication by minus t. Now next is differentiation in the time domain. So what will happen if you differentiate the signal in the time domain? In the resultant Laplace transform or the s domain, what is going to happen is you will multiply the resultant x of s by s and minus x of 0 plus. So here you can just substitute t by 0. That way you will get the Laplace transform. Next, integration property. I have already seen differentiation. So now if you integrate the signal in the time domain, what is going to happen is on the s domain, you're going to just divide the Laplace transform by s. So that's the difference which you have. Here what you're going to do is, here you are multiplying by s and minusing x of 0. Here you are going to divide. And there is one more property or theorem which you have to remember in Laplace transform, that is initial and final value theorem. This also will be widely used. So what does it state is that this is the initial value theorem. So what does it state? Limit s tends to infinity, s into x of s. If you want to find out this, it will be equal to x of 0. So what does it mean is that if you want to find out x of 0 value, it is limit s tends to infinity s into x of s. So usually they'll ask you what is the initial value and what is the final value. So for initial value, you'll say x of 0 is x of 0 plus is equivalent to limit s tends to infinity s into x of s. And what you have to remember is that this initial value theorem does not apply to rational x of s whose numerator polynomial order is greater than the denominator polynomial order. So you know, right? So when suppose the order of the numerator is s cube and the denominator is s square, then the initial value theorem does not apply in such cases. That you have to remember. Next is the final value theorem. So if you have to find out x of infinity, you will have to say limit s tends to 0 s into x of s. Just replace the infinity value by 0. And you have to remember one more thing related to final value theorem, that is it is only used if all poles of x of s are in the left half of the s plane with at most a single pole at s equal to 0. So when the poles are at s half of s of the s plane or left half of the s plane, their values are negative, s equal to -1, -2, and if a pole is at s equal to 0, so the value is going to be only s in the pole. So maximum you can have only one value which with s, the others can, and other poles should be in this manner. If there is something like this, then it doesn't apply there. If there is a minus sign in the s expression, then this cannot be applicable. So hope you understood these properties. These are very useful before your exam. If you want to just rehearse your properties, you can go through this video. Also, when you remember all these properties, it will be very easy for you to solve the Laplace transforms with complex expressions as the inputs. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe to Emmanuel Tutorials for more. If you have any doubts related to this video or any other videos, please mention them in the comments and we will try to upload a video related to that or try to answer your question. Thank you.
Subscribe to Emmanuel Tutorials and press the bell icon for notifications.